Okay guys, here's a quick instructional video on how to install the trigger guard wrap. Alright, with the wrap you'll receive the wrap itself, the thread needed to sew it on. You also get an extra piece of thread just in case you mess up the first time, and then your 2 blunt tip leather sewing needles. So the easiest way to thread these needles is to, you want to go through the eye of the needle, pass the string through, and then at about 1/4 of an inch at the end of that thread, put that needle through the thread. So you're going to pierce it all the way through, and then pull down on the string, and then grab that little tab that's left, that extra thread, and pull it down like this. And we'll do the same with this needle. Pierce it. If the thread is too frayed at the end to get it through the eye, just feel free to cut a little bit off. Cut it at about a 45-degree angle, and that'll give you a tip to help get it through the eye of the needle. Okay, so make sure I'm in frame here. Alright, I'm going to try to do this. Normally I'd set up a little bit differently to get this on, so I might struggle a little bit, but make sure I'm in focus. Okay, so you'll take your wrap here, the finished side of the leather towards the trigger, so the flesh side towards the trigger guard. Some of them it'll sit in like this, some won't, so it just depends on the actual trigger guard itself. I have to hold it in place with other trigger guards. Okay, so what I've done here is so from the bottom side up to the top side, I've went through that first hole on top there, and then from the top side towards the bottom side, I'm going to go through that first hole on the left side. It'll look like this. You want to make sure both ends of the thread are about the same length. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this thread on the right side and go all the way over, and then from the bottom side up, I'm going to go through that first hole on the left side, and you really want to make sure you're not piercing through that thread that's already in that hole. So I can barely see here, but there we go. So yeah, do not pierce that thread. Make sure you get around it. And then I'm going to go from the top side towards the bottom side, again through this hole on the right side. Okay. Make sure these 2 pieces of thread, or what looks like 2 pieces here, make sure that's on this the sides of the wrap and hasn't fallen off towards the front of it. So again, make sure your threads are about equal size. This one need to equal or even this out a little. Okay, then cross the threads over and pull tight right there. Again, make sure that that thread's not getting over on you towards the front of it. All needs to be on the side there. Alright, so one thing that's important while stitching this on is consistency with the way you lay your thread. So I always like the side that's going from the left to the right to lay on top. So when I'm stitching this, I want to make sure it's on top each time. So what I do is I'm going to start out with this. Let's move these back to where they were. I'm going to start out with the right side. We'll bring over to the left side, go through the top side in the second hole here. I can barely see here. Hold on a second. Top side through that second hole. And then I'm going to bring this thread that was over on the left side, bring it over and into the second hole on this side. If I can find it. There you go. Okay, I'm going to pull that top. Alright, and then I just wanted to continue to do this. So right now I see I've actually got this thread laying on top of this one here. So just to fix that, we'll switch them out there. So, alright, so now the thread that's coming over from the left side to the right side's back. It's oriented where it'll lay on top. So I'm going to go through the third hole down. And this side that's coming over, go through the third hole on that side. And then I just cross them over in order to get a good tight pull on it. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to finish up to I get to about the last or second from the last hole, and then I'll come back and show you how to do that last stitch. Okay, so I'm at the last stitch here. Just like I have been doing, I'm going to take this, so the side that's the right side, bring it over, go through that last hole, left side over towards the right side, go through that last hole here. Can you see it? Okay. Pull that top. I'm just going to hold it for a few seconds to let the thread or the leather conform to the trigger guard. Okay, so what I'm going to do is if I move these threads back over to the actual side that they're on here, what I want to do is take the left side and I'm going to go through the underside towards the outside, making sure I do not pierce that thread as I go in. So, and then I'm going to take the thread that's actually on the right side right here, that was, not that they're both, but the original thread that was on that side, I'm going to bring it over towards the left side, the bottom side up to the top side. Alright, that'll allow me to pull this way and pull it tight. And now what I'm going to do is take this one on the right side. You can do either side. Take this one on the right side, go all the way over, go through this hole from the top side in, and then I'm going to go through the hole on the right side from the bottom side towards the top side. If I can see it, I might have to go through this hole on the left side first and then find it this way. There we go. Alright, now you can pull it tight again, and this is where you'll tie your knot. Just a regular overhand knot there. Okay, cut the thread so that there's about 1/8 of an inch left, and then you'll take a lighter and just melt these threads just like that. Perfect. And that's it. You can, I do want to mention, before I came back to finish that last hole there, I did have to push the wrap upwards. So just make sure as you're doing it, make sure it's in the right spot. You know, it's all the way forward, as much as you can get it, or where you want it at, to where there's enough room to stitch it in this last hole at the end here. Easier to go ahead and make sure you know, as you're stitching it, that it's staying in the right spot. So because once you get towards the middle, it gets super stiff and or tight and hard to move around. Like right now, I can't move any of it. But yeah, appreciate it, guys.